The crazy news that they don't want to tell you. This is Coincidental Chaos, and today I'm coming to you with some quick facts. Let's read a book. It is written that the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. So in this season of Quick Facts, we will be taking a look back at the 13 colonies that began the United States and seeing where they stand now, in reverse order. The 13 colonies that started this country were founded by colonizing immigrants. How could we forget? Disclaimer. This discussion is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only and is based upon reviewed historical research and my own personal experiences. In this final episode of Season 4, we're taking a look at Virginia, which is home to Jamestown, the first of the original 13 colonies. Is it coincidence? According to the U.S. News & World Report, Virginia currently ranks at number 13 on the list of best states overall. The colony of Jamestown started with just 100 English settlers who arrived and began growing tobacco. They employed servants and slaves to keep business booming, and a couple hundred years later, they were the 8th state to secede from the Union. However, the surrender of the Army of Northern Virginia marked the end of the Civil War and allowed the state to enact legislation such as the Racial Integrity Act. This act outlawed marriage between white and black people from 1924 to 1967, when it was overturned by the Supreme Court. The state still remains divided among North and South, but its economy is very diverse and right outside of the Washington, D.C. corridor. An important part of Virginia's checkered past is that the first 100 settlers to arrive in Jamestown were all men. There were no women. This led to the practice of mail order brides coming from England to marry settlers in Virginia. I'm sure it was far from the dream wedding they had hoped for, though. Times were hard, winters were harsh, food was scarce. There are many historical records that reference an act of cannibalism among men eating their wives to avoid dying from starvation. In 2012, archaeologists uncovered remains of a female body at a Jamestown settlement, and they believe she was eaten. They call her Jane. But that was only in Virginia, right? This is quite different than the historical narrative we've all been fed about the indispensable role of women in Jamestown. In recent news, the FBI just seized its largest stockpile of explosives in history from a Virginia man living on a 20-acre farm. This guy had over 150 pipe bombs. Financial data released earlier this year shows that the state of Virginia received 26.7% more funding from the federal government beginning in the fiscal year 2021. And nearly half of this was used to support public welfare programs. And in 2023, Virginia received a federal grant in the amount of $729 million to fund their Long Bridge and Phase 2 projects for the railway. Today, Virginia lawmakers are pushing for a mandatory disclosure on the use of artificial intelligence in political ads. They want voters to know what they're seeing. A bill introduced by Virginia State Senator Scott Surreal explains that AI content can mislead voters by distorting reality. The bill outlines strict requirements for disclaimers and disclosure, and anyone who does not comply will be facing a misdemeanor criminal offense. Virginia is a blue state. It is a part of the 27-state coalition that supports Texas on the issue of border security. And Virginia is the V in the DMV Super Sanctuary State Trinity. Are you ready to open your eyes? Well, I guess that cat's out of the bag. Follow me for more quick facts with Coincidental Chaos.